Welcome back. All right, so the collection comes in handy as the LA Kings have made a change. They've gone back to this kind of a look. The font's different. I don't like the font as much as the original font either. The crown's been updated. I don't think the crown's much of a difference from where it was, but yeah. So there you go. They've changed the logo for the LA Kings back to what we had in the late '80s, early '90s. All right, so there you go. We'll see what the jerseys look like soon enough. Of course, the Ducks are going through a rebrand as well. I will have news on that next week, so stay tuned. I mean, people know that I talk to guys from the Ducks, right? They know that, right? Anyways, all right. So, starting with at the top of the board, the San Jose Sharks. Yesterday they claimed Goodrow. Now, why do you claim Goodrow on waivers? Because San Jose was on their 50 on his 15-team no trade list. So by claiming him on waivers, it gets around the no trade list. This way, the Rangers get rid of all that money. And apparently, there's going to be a bigger trade between San Jose and the Rangers. Some kind of compensation from the Rangers to San Jose for doing this. So we'll see what that ends up looking like. But yeah, it was just San Jose using that because they couldn't trade him to San Jose. He was on there. They were on his no trade list. So I'm sure Goudreau probably wasn't all that happy about it. Although my guess is he probably would have had a heads up that this was going to happen. Cole Gutman signed a 1-year extension with the Chicago Blackhawks. There's going to be a lot of signings like this. 1 year, league minimum 775,000. Gutman, decent depth forward. We'll see where he fits in with Chicago this coming season. Again, I've already talked about the Kings, the rebranding, so good on them for going back to an old logo. Yeah, no, I agree. It would have been better if it was the coat of arms. Yeah, I wish they'd brought purple back, but what are you gonna do? Nolan Foote has given Jacob Markstrom the number 25, so he will be wearing that for the New Jersey Devils. They did ask him that too, and he joked it depended on how expensive it was for him to get the number. I believe he'll be the first goaltender for the New Jersey Devils to wear the number 25. So, yeah, Markstrom and Allen at this point, that's your tandem with the New Jersey Devils. We'll see what happens with Dawes and Schmid this summer. I don't think you keep all four guys, but maybe they do. Maybe they want to have that depth in net. It's quite possible they do. Stuart Skinner. So the stats on Skinner are ridiculous when you get to games 4 through 7 in a series. He is 9-0 in these playoffs in a series from games 4 through 7 in these playoffs with a 938 save percentage. What the Oilers have been able to do in these playoffs is nothing short of ridiculous. Like it's every time they've been counted out in a series, which they were against Vancouver, on some level against Dallas as well, and now against Florida, when their backs are against the wall, they play their best hockey. So, I mean, obviously the solution is to try to play that hockey in games 1 through 4, and then you wouldn't have to do this in games 4 through 7. But hey, tomorrow night, game 6 should be a lot of fun. Florida's going to look to make that a 9-1 record for Skinner, and then we could talk about how good he was in games 4 through 7, minus that one game where Florida wins the Stanley Cup. Anthony Mantha has been informed by the Vegas Golden Knights that they're not going to re-sign him and bring him back. I'm not surprised because they don't have cap space. There's no way that they could afford to bring back Mantha with the cap issues they have. Obviously, they want to keep Marcia, so that's going to mean having to move out some money somewhere. Even with Leonard being an LTIR candidate and he's not coming back, they still don't have the money to bring back Mantha and various other players as well. That's why I was kind of surprised when they signed Hanifin as they did, but Vegas is just like that. They find their player, they go, we're going to sign him, and then we'll just worry about the money later. I've talked many times over about how they've been with players, and it's worked out for them. They've won a Stanley Cup, so yeah, Vegas deciding not to bring back Mantha, not a huge surprise. Don Waddell today saying that in terms of a trade for Patrick Laine, he wants to make a hockey trade. I find it so bizarre how when a team makes a trade where it's a forward for a defenseman or two forwards that need to change the scenery, you go, hey, look, it's an actual hockey trade. I'm old enough to remember when they were all hockey trades, basically. Sometimes they were trades made out of spite the player. But yeah, Waddell wants to make a hockey trade involving Laine. The problem is Laine's cap hit. If you want to make a pure hockey trade, I don't think Laine's cap hit lends itself to that. I think you're going to have some retention. And maybe Columbus has to take another bad contract back in order to get rid of Laine's cap hit. So we'll see what happens and where he ends up landing. But yeah, Columbus is working to make this happen because Laine's made that request, and Columbus is in full agreement that a change needs to happen there. Kyle McLean signed a 3-year extension with the Islanders yesterday. League minimum as well, $775,000. And over 3 years, honestly, you can't complain about that. He's a good, solid bottom six player for them. And yeah, so they have some certainty there with a 3-year cap hit of $775,000. And Matt Villalta. So Utah, needing a little bit of depth in net, signed Villalta to a 2-year extension worth $775,000. Maybe they watched my goalie video and went, oh yeah, no, we need to bring Villalta back just in case somebody gets hurt. We need to bring somebody up. Now it is a 2-way contract. It's $275,000 in the AHL and $300,000 guaranteed. So if Villalta spends the whole season in the minors, his money gets bumped up to $300,000 US. But good for him, good for Utah, and we'll see what they do come July the 1st, because they have a ton of cap space. They have so much cap space in Utah, and they could really make quite the splash right out of the gate. Like, I would think like a top forward, a top defenseman, just to let people know, hey, we're going to try to go for this. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.